Hello everybody and welcome to another Tabletop Junkie stream. Oh wait, hang on a second. If you can hear me, you can't see me lighting up because I am muted on my Discord. Sorry about that. Now you can see me and hear me talking. I don't know if you could hear me or see me before. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to another Tabletop Junkie stream, everybody. This is one of my other streams I've been doing here on Rumble, and today we are going to talk about Mythic Game Master Emulator 2nd Edition. We're going to go through some things on this today. I did it once on YouTube, and I've never uploaded this to Rumble, so we're going to do one stream on Rumble, and then I'm going to upload to YouTube, just because it's been upon request. So today we are going to do that. But before we do that, we are going to say, welcome to 2026, my first stream of the entire year. I have not done one since before January 1st. And today, we are going to do something with tabletop gaming. So that's the way it's going to be here. So, with that said, let's welcome 2026 in with a nice awesome stream. This is had some things on my desk. All right. So anyway, all right. So let's begin with what's going to happen in 2026 here on Rumble. Well, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. We are going to be doing some actual plays starting January 16th. I'm bringing in my crew. We are doing more Chronicles of Paramore Campaign 1, which I've uploaded everything ever since. From when I started out on YouTube all the way up to present day, and I've been streaming all the way on present day. Although I have not done it backwards. I have not uploaded to YouTube over there from the videos I've done. However, we are going to get on that. I actually have to do some sorting, and things are going to be done a little bit differently here. YouTube is not really my thing anymore, so I'm going to be over here on Rumble from here. This is my alternative, and this is what I'm going to be doing. So I hope for you Rumble folks that you enjoy tabletop fun, because I'm bringing you tabletop games. Yeah, I had a bigger climax for that, but whatever. Alright, with that said, let's get started here. First thing I'm going to do is introduce a new person I'm going to have. We are going to be regaled by I don't want to... Yes, you know what I'm going to say, prominent tabletop gamer that they do over on YouTube, but she is prominent also here on Rumble, known as Sucker Maiden. If you guys know who she is, go to her channel, check her out, and please follow her, as well as come here, like my stream today, and like the video, and follow me here. We're trying to reach 100 followers. I am literally 17 away. Like, I'm so close, I can taste it. It's rough. Like, I can literally taste it. But before we do, let's introduce what we're going to do for the 2026 kickoff. We are going to kick off 2026 with some awesome gaming, and we are actually going to start, I've actually got a video regarding what we're going to do for the game as well. So, like, I can actually show you guys the video. So, let me see here. Maybe I should, do I have... That was not it. I gotta go over to my other one. Give me 1 second. That's not it either. Alright. I got that one good. Alright, so back to this. Alright, so we got some good games coming. Definitely got Castles and Crusades, my Chronicles of Paramore homebrew game. We are actually gonna do a science fiction game at some point in this year. And I think that's all I've got going on so far. So let's start off with, I just announced we got a new player, and let's just go from there. All right, next I would like to show an intro that I've been actually building. It's still in the works. So here's a 15-minute video of something that I'm going to be working on. That will be played, not every session, but for the start of the next kickoff for the New Year of Siege. It's not an actual official title. It's just something I like to call because Castles and Crusades is the Siege engine. We are actually going to play some Castles and Crusades and some amazing adventures this year. So we are going to do stuff for Troll Lord Games. So hopefully we can get some recognizable things going on there. I will probably, like I said, have to upload this to YouTube for them to see this one. So, here, check out this nice video over here real quick, and we will continue from there.
In the turning of the year, when the last echoes of old battles fade, and the maps lie quiet beneath candlelight, A new age begins. The table is set. Once more we gather, not as strangers, but as storytellers, warriors, scholars, and fools bold enough to defy fate. Ink fills the page, steel waits in its sheath. The dice rest patient, unforgiving. This is the year of Zeech. Not a year of numbers, but of choices. Not of perfect victories, but of moments that matter. In this age, heroes are not born from prophecy alone. They rise when the odds say no. When the single road decides whether the door opens or the darkness answers first, prime or secondary. Every step forward is a challenge. Every failure leaves a scar. Every success becomes legends. From ancient castles and forgotten crusades to shadow streets, pulp horrors and untamed frontiers. One engine binds it all. Flexible, unforgiving. The siege engine does not ask who you are. It asks what you dare to attempt. Tonight the world listens. Kings sharpen their lies. Monsters stir beneath the earth. Oh gods, remember your name. And somewhere beyond the edge of the map, a story waits for someone brave or foolish enough to begin it. So take up your character sheet, hold the dice like a promise, because this year we don't just play games, we forge legends. Welcome to 2020 Siege. Welcome to the new year of Siege.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. New year on the table, hear the war drums beat.
220 sweet siege, back in the seats.
Calendar flips, but the fire still burns.
Maps on the table, lessons learned.
Castles and crusades, amazing adventures in life.
Tabletop Junkie say siege time.
Pens hit paper, worlds take shape. Every stat, every roll, fate escapes. From dungeon stone to city street, a tribute text decide defeat on
New Year of siege, raise the dice up high. 2026, let the legends fly. Prime stats tested, heroes believe. Tabletop Junkie, bring the new year of siege.
roll by roll, we break the cage. New campaigns, new golden age. From the keep to the unknown seas, 2020 seeps.
New year of siege.
Ooh, yeah. CK behind the screen, story unlocked. Troll or blood running deep in the stock. Amazing adventures, pulp and fear. One system rules it all right here.
No loaded rules, no slowing down. Fast-paced play where legends crowned.
If it makes sense, let the dice decide. That's the siege way, ride or die.
From a secondary, step up brave. Every check's a chance to save. Failure teaches, victory shines. Every moment etched in time.
New players in, old crew strong. Another year where we belong. Stories shared, laughter loud. Critical hits make the table proud. From fantasy wars to no outlet streets, siege engine drives every feat. Tabletop Junkie sets the flame. Same system, infinite games.
On New Year of siege, hear the call. 2026, we roll for it all. Castles, crusades, adventures untold. Tabletop Junkie bringing legends bold.
Raise your sheets, let destiny speak. Another year, another peak. We don't just play, we believe. 2020
Year of siege.
Come on, dice on the table, future in reach. Stories begin with the siege engine beat. Tabletop Junkie, you're just begin. Roll initiative and let the legends in. Hit wood, hit a echo crack. Tabletop junkies got the world on track. Siege engine humming, candles low. Castles and crusades, let the legends roll. Map spread wide, the dungeon breeze. Every door hides death or deeds. From first initiative to final stand, this ain't just a game, it's a conquering band. Roll it up, let the battle ignite. Every player got a role tonight. Steel, spell, shadow, shield, maintain. This is how legends get campaign. Welcome to the table. Take your seat. Paramore's heartbeat under rolling feet. Sparta Chris stands. Spell book cracked. Eyes on the board, always 3 turns back. Fire in the mind, tactics in hand. Dropping spells like a battlefield command. Hold the line, buff now, strike then. Enemies fall before they comprehend. Every move planned, every word precise. Chess master brain in the fantasy fight. From the back line, tails night moves. Silent steps, always got proof. Scout in corners, watching doors. Knows when trouble's coming before it roars. Crossbow ready, back up tight. If things go bad, he saves the night. Never loud, but always there. The unseen shield in the dungeon is. Roll it up, let the battle ignite. Every player got a role tonight. Steel, spell, shadow, shield, maintain. This is how legends get campaigned. Welcome to the table. Take your seat. Paramore's heartbeat under rolling feet. Welcome to the click trap found. Chest unlocked. Archer calling. Beats the clock. Sneaking low. Tools in hand. Gold appears where others stand. Locks don't last. Pressure plates fail. Every rogue knows this tale. If it's trapped, sealed, hidden or cursed, Colin's already there first. Then comes thunder, Mrs. T. Frontline fury, no mercy. Blade swings wide, enemies break. She holds the line for the party's sake. When things turn dark and morale bends, she's the wall that never ends. Defender, striker, fearless stance. Enemies learn the price of chance. New dice gleam, fresh chapter spun. Welcome sunken maiden adventure begun. From verdant mint where legends rise. Running luds, echo in her eyes. Streaming fate, both bold and clever. Rumble strong, the roles remembered. New blood joins, the table grows. Another hero, let the saga flow. Roll it up, let the dungeon shake. Every choice is a risk you take. From veteran hands to first time flame, everyone here earns the name. Castles and crusades, stories engraved. Tabletop junkie worlds are made. Tabletop junkie worlds are made. Dice slow down, the night runs thin, but the legend's written, inked in skin. Same table, new tales await. Next session, roll for fate. Welcome to the beat. Welcome to the beat. Welcome to the beat.
Legends are told. Heroes rise with courage to spare, facing danger and foes with the bonds that they share. Through the storm and shadows blight, we wield our hearts and blades tonight. From the depths to the skies, hear the call. It's the Chronicles, we're standing tall. It's game night, the dice will roll. Paramore's alive with tales untold. We fight, fall, we rise once more. In the Chronicles of Paramore. Tabletop Junkies, the adventure's clear. Paramour's magic pulls us near. So grab your sword, your spells, your might. Join the Chronicles, take flight. Our journey starts, what lies in store. Welcome to Paramore.
And that would give us a nice start into the 2026. So we will be playing that for a couple of sessions. But today we are not here to play Castles and Crusades. We're here to talk about Mythic, the Game Master Tool emulator. Now, granted, I know I pretty much spent the time playing some music for you, but that's only because I think it's great music and I should share it. And I can share music on Rumble without fear of some BS crap. Fantastic freaking statement of, oh, I think we've heard this song before. I made it by Suno, so I don't know, maybe. Yes, I do use Suno to make my music, but it's just because I don't make money to do this streaming stuff. So anything, like, if I have someone do something for me, it's going to cost me actual money out of my pocket that has no revenue flow. So, yeah, okay. You can clearly see where that's going. Anyway, alright, let's talk about Mythic, Game Master Tool Emulator. Alright, so, this is the second edition. It was created, it creates dynamic role-playing adventures without a Game Master. It's by Tanya Pigeon. Or Tana Pigeon. Tanya? Okay, I don't know. I swear to God, I botched this author's name so many freaking times. But, she, and I'm hoping it's a she. I'm hoping I'm not thinking Tana is like Tana. I'm pretty sure it's a she. Anyway, this person was very well on making this, because for a long time I was pretty sure you could not emulate a Game Master without actually having a Game Master. If you guys are seeing my shift changes because I'm moving the actual screen share around, I'm trying to make sure it's working. It's difficult because I'm actually only got two screens to work with. But anyway, for a long time, when I was hearing about Mythic for quite some time, I think this came out in 2015. Let me see here. Mythic fan group back in 2006. It's actually been out for a while. World Mill Games patron page. I'm trying to think when this book was published. 2023. There was an emulator back in 2026. Or 2020. No, not 2026. 2006, 2021, 2023. This one came out in 2023. 2021 was the first edition. And a lot of people were telling me about this and asked me if I actually ever wanted to look at this, because when I was streaming, I always played a character with all my other players, and I do that now with Chronicles of Paramore. And I said, no, I never really got into this, and they're like, oh, well, it does this for you. And I tried to research it on YouTube and Rumble, anywhere I could find it. Honestly, YouTube only had one thing, which brought up the Grouch Couch. Turk. His name is Turk. He runs the Grouch Couch channel. He was the only one that I could find any information on that actually had Mythic. There was a couple other channels, but they literally did like a small blurb of like one video, and it was like 20 minutes long. And really, they just went through the book, basically like doing a review and basically saying what you can do with this book. And so I was a disbeliever for so long regarding Mythic. I can't tell you, this book has really changed my life. It's like, I don't want to compare it to this, because this might be kind of bad, but it's like a non-believer finding God for the first time. I don't want to say that, but it's honestly, when I first picked it up, I saw Turk use it, and I said, okay, it got me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy the book. I'm gonna try it out, and so therefore I did. Yeah, it's a very useful tool, very powerful tool. I'd like to say. So let's kind of go on with it, shall we? We are gonna actually. I mean, they do got some decent art in here, which is weird to have. Like, I'm glad they have some art like this in here. The reason for this art, blasphemy. All right, Chris, settle down. It was an analogy, and I mentioned beforehand, I mentioned beforehand it was a horrible analogy, and possibly a craptastic analogy, but it's an analogy nonetheless. And you had all sorts of fun. We did this with All Flesh Must Be Eaten. You guys can that's actually what my whole entire. If you guys go to my All Flesh Must Be Eaten, I got 3 playlists. I got season 1, season 2, and then I got the whole series that I have so far. I'm gonna actually do a season 3 using this. I don't know about how to use it. Like, somebody asked me to use this in a tutorial, which we're going to go over some of the stuff today. I actually have some dice next to me. And I don't know how to really show you guys how to use this. This is something that's kind of hands-on, and you got to dive into it on your own. It's definitely different. It uses tables. And you just go off the table. And at the end of the book, you actually have all the tables that you are going to need to reference. But you need to know some things in there. You always have dice next to you. I know I do. But the dice I need are percentile dice. What do I have next to me? Are these D8s? No, these are D10s. Well, somewhat useful. I have my new dice as well. Okay, I do have my new dice that I haven't even cracked open yet. I think I'm gonna savor those, but we'll maybe pull up some dice on. I do have dice Emulator on my Discord, and I do have it on my Foundry. Which Foundry we might actually have to share that a little bit later, because Foundry is actually one of the ones that actually has a oh god, what do you call it? Actually has the module in there, so you can actually see what we're doing. But it's nice that they have this, because this is for any system. This is all neutral. This is for any game you can imagine yourself into. I've seen someone do it with Castles and Crusades. I haven't done it with Castles. Actually, I lied. I did do it with Castles and Crusades. I actually have an adventure booklet where I did it with Castles and Crusades. I just haven't done it since that day. My wife was in surgery, and I definitely did it while she was in surgery at the hospital to pass the time. But it was definitely worlds of fun. And literally, I played for like 5 hours before I knew it, and I wrote out like 10 pages worth of stuff. Literally all by hand with pen. Crazy. My freaking like hand was developing stuff. But so starting with the this is the second edition, which the first book came out in 2003, even before 2006. It says the first Mythic role-playing was published in 2003. I wonder what that was like. Did they have all the stuff? Like, I would like to see if I can find the old version of this and just compare the two to see how different they really were. Because this definitely very powerful. We could do it someday with the brothers we created for Ray. Oh, yeah, Chris, you just like to go back to things, I know. But unfortunately, alas, Sparta Chris, I am a busy man. Alright, I had to get something to drink real quick. Whew, my throat is dry. But yeah, and it looks like this was published, and this was a letter from, about a Mythic journey, but this is actually a letter published by Tenna Pigeon in January 2023, and you even have her signature right there. I think that's freaking awesome. But this is pretty much the breakdown. Now, the hardest part about Mythic is you really have to pay attention to everything and to the best of your ability. This is literally reading stereo instructions or how to build a desk instructions. Like, when you go to IKEA or to Walmart and you grab a freaking desk to put together that's made from Taiwan, and you're just sitting here going, holy shit, why would I connect piece A to piece B and connect piece C to piece D, and then make sure E is connected to F, and make sure it's turned this way. It's fucking crazy. That's how it kind of reads, but when you finally get the gist of it, it all comes together. It may be hard coming together because it throws so much your way. You actually throw a lot of stuff of tables your way. The very first thing that we'd like to actually talk about will be the very first chart that anyone actually... I like this. I don't know what it is. I like sci-fi stuff. Ooh, excuse me. Alright. So, the very first mechanic used in this one is the yes or... IKEA, those Swedish instructions. What did I say? Taiwan instructions? They're all in weird instructions. How about that, sir? Alright. The first thing, the base concept is Mythic uses the few concepts such as yes and no questions, random events, and meaning in each tables that you do, depending on what you roll. For instance, depending on what you roll, may actually set your scene for you, and it will tell you how, but you still have to do most of the work. Now, they say the brain is the most powerful graphics and most powerful, central processing unit in the world. Essentially, computer logic. It's like you've got the most powerful parts right here in your noggin. So here we go. Here we go. Did I say here we go? I meant to say noodle, but whatever. All right. We're going to just scroll past all this real quick, and we're just going to get to the main part that I want to get to. Mythic adventure elements are broken down such as this. Fate questions, chaos factor, random events, scenes, lists, meanings, expectations, interpretations, and your chosen RPG. Which means, once you get past all this, it is what you choose to decide to do with that. Let's start off with the very first thing. I don't want to start off with lists. That's like way down here. I want to start off with fate questions. Before we start off with lists, let's start off with fate questions. Now, in order to use this, you will actually need the following. Not the chaos factor. Characters and your D100. That's what you need. And pen and paper. Obviously. Sorry, I'm still fighting a cold here for some strange reason. I go to work with a lot of sickly people. And they're all getting sick. Because they keep coming around me, and I'm like, dude, why don't you stay the hell home? And they're like, hey, why don't you stay the hell home? I'm like, because none of you guys do. So I guess we're just all making each other miserable at work. It's like, we're already working, we're already miserable. And now we're making each other more miserable. Alright, so characters are important people, and sometimes non-people, who populate your adventure. Player characters are characters controlled by you, the player, or players, because you can have more than one person. You can actually do this with multiple people. This is not just solo. There's solo play and group play with this. That's awesome. And then D100, shorthand for pair of 10-sided dice. Or as I like to call them, percentile. One, which is a 10-10s die, and then one with that's a 10-sided die. And one goes from 0 to 9, and one goes from 00 to 90. If you're a tabletop role play gamer already, you already know what those are. So, I don't need to explain that. Alright. Fate questions. This is what I wanted to get with. Don't be mistaken also for fate questions as in the Fate TTRPG or the Fate Core. Because that's not what I'm talking about. But here we go. Alright. So, fate questions are questions that you will ask, and it's the central mechanic for generating information about your adventure and play and current scenes. They're yes or no questions that actually follow a way for you to interpret them. For instance, I'm going to pick a chosen setting, and we're going to roll with it. We're going to set but before we do that, I'm going to talk about chaos factor here in a minute, but I don't want to at the moment. Let's go to this first chart called the fate chart. How many are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 chosen difficulties, basically, or 9 chosen odds. Certain, nearly certain, very likely, likely, 50-50, unlikely, very unlikely, nearly impossible, and impossible. This chart here sets the odds. What is the odds of you having a certain type of issue going on. Well, let's find out, shall we? I'm actually going to grab me some dice here real quick and grab me a new can of soda, and we are going to start off with I don't even know what the adventure is. I'm going to make it up. I'm thinking sci-fi. Do you guys all want to hear a sci-fi adventure? We're not even going to pick the system. We are going to just do a science fiction adventure, and we'll pick the system later. Okay. Generally, my favorite one is Star Wars D6. Just throwing it out there, but we're not even going to do that right this minute. We're just going to run a small tutorial without that. Let me put you guys on a brief 5-minute hold, and we will get to starting to show you how this fate chart works. All right, let's get back to this. Sorry about that. I had to get my dice ready because I didn't think I was really going to pull out any dice, but I'm going to. All right, so we are going to do... So the setting's going to be science fiction. I'm going to play a character that is similar to Han Solo, but it's not Han Solo. We're going to name him Jack. Yeah, we're going to say his name is Jack. He's on a freighter. Excuse me. He's on a freighter in the middle of space. He is on his way to transport some goods to an unknown planet. Well, it's not unknown. He knows why, but I think he's been caught by the Imperial Guard. There you go, Jack Williams. There we go, Spartacus. We're gonna do some improv. Jack Williams, and he's on a very old. Well, let's see. Is the freighter super old? That is the yes or no question, right? Is the freighter super old? So what we want to look at is, could Jack before this afford a freighter? That or did he acquire this freighter somehow? But to know that, let's say, is it super old? I would say, and most people would pick the odds of 50-50, right? Oops. Oh, right here. Most people would pick the odds 50-50. Make sure you guys are seeing this. There we go. Move it over here. 50-50. This is usually along the axis that most people go upon. Okay? But we could say likely, or very likely, because he couldn't afford a brand new ship unless he was someone of noble class, which I don't think he is. And I'm going to say no, because why would a noble class want to be a freighter captain, right? So we're going to say it's very likely that it's old, right? So this is actually along the tables that you want to look at. Now, you have to look down here at the chaos factor. Chaos factor is always set to 5. 5 is the main factor here. So what you do is you look up here and you set the chaos factor. It is, and we'll talk about the chaos factor in a minute, but it is always set to 5. So that means you have to for this to be a yes, you have to beat 75. I believe you have to get lower than 75%. For it to be a no, you have to get above 75, but under 96. And if it's an exceptional yes, it's below a 15. Okay. Now, just to double check that, I'm going to check the rules here. I'm going to scroll down because it does tell you where it does. Lower values, more no answers. Where is it? Okay. So there's yes, exceptional yes, no, and exceptional no, which is what we were talking about. Hang on one second. The large number is the number you need to get a yes answer. Good. Okay. You need to equal that number or get less. Okay, cool. All right. For that. So the chances of me being this old freighter is about 75% versus 25. So we're going to roll and we're going to see what chances we have to see if it's an old freighter. And I got 56%. It is an old freighter. It has chances of breaking down. Now the question is, did I break down or did I have a chance of running into an Imperial freighter? Haha, I got you right there. I didn't even ask a yes or no question, right? But you can actually turn that into a yes or no question. You can actually make that 2 questions. See, the question was, did my ship break down or did I come up against an Imperial freighter? That could count as 2 separate questions, and I do that a lot in my games. So my first question is, what's the odds of it being my ship is broken down? We're going to say, because it's old, it's going to be likely. Imperial freighter, it's going to be unlikely. But first things we're going to roll is simply this. This is how I do it, and this is something that I've done creatively on my own as a GM, but I don't recommend everyone to do it, especially if you don't understand the system itself. He could be a nobleman if he found out something bad about his family and cut ties with them and is going under a new name. Very, very normally in the authorities, he'd be flying a junker that keeps that he keeps up. Yeah, well, maybe he didn't keep up the junker. You know, maybe his freaking co-pilot said, "Hey, we need this in like 6 months," and Jack decided to wait 8 months because he was an idiot, like Malcolm Reynolds. You know, but we won't talk about Firefly. So, all right. So here's how we're gonna do this. All right. So we set the two values. Likely for it to be broken down, which will set the value here, and unlikely that it is that, so we'll set the value there. If I roll under 65, that is my target for that. But if I roll above 35, then that means my ship just broke down. And that's how I normally do that if I want to ask two questions at once. One's yes, one's no. But you can also roll them separately and make two rolls for them. And for that, we're going to do that. We're going to say, the first question is my freighter broken down? I got a 94%. That is an exceptional no. It is not broken down. Okay, so that leaves one question. Am I attacked by the Imperial Guard? 86%. That, too, is a regular no. So I got an exceptional no and a regular no. Wow. Okay, so something else is going on here, guys. I think the only thing I could think of at that point is spatial anomaly, which, unfortunately, you're going to have to set that between those two. And I got a 31% on spatial anomaly. Yes, I faced off with the spatial anomaly, and now my ship is currently running parts. And that's how you do that. I got a 31%, and we set it to 50-50. Once you actually get the hang of Mythic, you'll be able to flip-flop all these in your head, and it will not make a difference. It will be like a computer. You'll be like mathematically making your own decisions and stuff like that. It's crazy. So maybe you're parking to drop off cargo. Well, Chris, we just said, according to Mythic, we just faced off with a spatial anomaly somewhere. So the ship is probably leaking atmosphere. I have to do some repairs. My hyperdrive is down. I don't even know if I'm even near the planet. Let's say 50-50 for being near the planet. 4%. I'm exceptionally yes. Okay, well, here's a small problem. I'm near the planet. I don't have my engines. I don't have my systems. I'm leaking atmosphere, and I have no hyperdrive. Which means when I'm entering the system's atmosphere and gravitational pull, I'm going to be actually falling like a rock and burning up in the atmosphere. It's been a few seconds. I'm like, I know, like, everything is weird. Maybe there's a black hole nearby. I don't know, man. Like, you gotta, this is just a small tutorial. But anyway, that is how fake questions actually work. Let's actually determine what chaos factor is. So chaos factor is actually something that is between 1 and 9. By default, the chaos factor for any game starts off at 5. Now, how do you adjust chaos factor? Well, you adjust chaos factor based on if you yourself had control of the campaign or the session, or did you lose control to this book? It's like, dear God, is the planet's spaceport on the surface or in orbit? We are going to say, well, gee, let's ask that a question. We're going to say 50-50. It's on most spaceports, especially in sci-fi. They're usually, if you're Star Wars, it's on the planet. Sometimes they're in orbit based if there's a space station. In Star Trek, there's always a space station, but we're going to go Star Wars-y. We're going to go 50-50 on this one. And I got 36%. It's on the planet, sir. It's on the planet. So we're actually falling. We're falling. So there we go. So basically, we will change the chaos factor. So back to chaos factor without being interrupted by my audience here. All right, so we would change the chaos factor based on if we had control of the session or scene, or if we lost control of the session or scene. Given that this is an opening scene, I do by session, but you can do by scene. In this case, I am playing a character named Jack Williams, who went through a spatial anomaly of some kind that he does not even know. So he has no control of his ship. His ship is heavily damaged, and he's falling very, very quickly. He has to actually regain control, or he is going to fall to his death. Okay, at this point, did I have control of the scene? Opening scene, I had no control of it, so we're going to up the chaos factor to actual 6. And that's how you would do that. If if everything was all good and I was arriving perfectly fine, we would lower it to 4 from 5. If you want to do that. Now, we're going to roll a d20. A d20. Now, with being a person who needs to be... Now, do I have... I guess the next question I ask, do I have any crew? It is very likely that I'm not doing this by myself. So I am going to say, what did I say? Very likely. I'm going to say nearly certain that I'm not doing this by myself. However, I did up the chaos factor to 6. So, yep, 90% or lower is a yes. And I got a 94%. I am totally doing this by myself. Wow. Wow. The odds are against me. Wouldn't you know that? So, I am alone on this ship. Completely. Alright, we're going to go back to rolling a d20. Alright, so that's basically how this would work. It's very, very easy. Once you get that down, you're all pretty good. Now, when you do certain things, you know, and these are some examples. This is also in the book to help you. You can actually check, just use this, and it will tell you how things work. I'll let you guys read that on your own time. You guys can actually go to Drive-Thru RPG or to, I believe it's wordmills.com, and you can buy the book from them as well. Just do a nice Han Solo smack if the console. All right, we'll see if that works, Sparta, but I don't think it's gonna work. At this point, with the chaos factor being so high, I'm gonna roll a DC of 50. Like, I'm gonna say it's gonna be the lowest 5%. We're gonna do a reverse D20. All right, but anyway, before we do that, we have yes, exceptional yes, no, and exceptional no. You've been hearing me spout those terms out this entire time. Yes is the answer is yes, confirming your expectations. Exceptionally yes is the answer is yes, confirming your expectations and beyond. The answer is no. All right, for no, the answer is no. Go with the next most expected outcome. And exceptional no is the answer is the opposite of yes, or the opposite of yes that is superficially intensified. Yeah, so shit sucks. The ship is in bad health. So, but I think since I don't have any help, I think I would be pretty good with repair. And I roll a 12. Well, that's crap. I think I needed a 5 or better to be on, or 5 or lower. So I'm like trying to repair the engines as I'm falling, and it's just not working out for me. So yeah, I failed on that. You can also change fate check modifiers when you're rolling a d20. You can, this is when you're rolling any other dice. You can actually change the modifier. All right. For instance, what's the likelihood of me getting since I'm the only one on, nearly certain, which would give me a +4 bonus, going towards in the direction that I need to succeed. And and here is also rolling fate check answers with rolling a d20. See, look at that. Or 2d10s even. So yeah, it has a lot of stuff in here where you can change up the dice. So that would actually lower me down to an 8. Still not likely. Okay, so I guess we gotta ask if luck is going to be on our side. Who the hell knows? But this basically is how you would set up your scenes. Alright, now, let's move down to my personal favorite. Chaos, events, and exceptional answers. These are kind of fun. Not really. I've had a lot of bad outcomes with this stuff, but we will see how this works. Okay, so ignore random events unless they make sense to include this with this rule. Okay, so we did get let's say an exceptional no on something. I'm the only one working by myself. As to why, I have no freaking clue. But we can go through, let's see here. I'm going to jump ahead to a set of charts, adventure journal. I don't know if this is the chart I want. Nope. Where is the chart I want? There is a chart right here. I think this is it. No, that's a focus event. Nope. Here we go. Action tables. Okay. Alright, action tables, this is actually kind of fun. You get to actually roll 2d100 and actually figure out why the hell, what action did I actually take that led me to believe that I don't have a friggin' crew. As to why I don't have a friggin' crew. You can actually do 2 on action 1, 2 on action 2, or you can do 1 on action 1 and 1 on action 2. You can actually pick those. We're going to do 1 and 1. Alright, I got 53. So the words that we're gonna get, and these words are like, these words are kind of like just play on words, like improv words. So my first one is increase. $75. I hope to God this is like good. All right, increase poverty. Oh dear God, I'm broke. I couldn't afford a crew. That's I've been broke for months. I've been eating whatever they eat on the Matrix, but only in space. And that's basically how you would come up with stuff like that. So yeah, it's increased poverty. When we think of increased poverty and the fact I have no crew and I have a broken down ship and I went through an anomaly which I did not see, it sideswiped my ship. It means, yeah, space ramen. I've been eating space ramen at 1 credit per pack. All you do is throw it in the microwave and it heats it up itself, turns it itself into a bowl. The bowl's even edible. It's so poor. The bowl is even edible. It's so freaking poor. All right. Let's roll an event focus here. Let's focus on an event besides the event of us falling to our death, because that's clearly happening. So we're falling to our death. I can't get the ship back up and running. I guess the question is, does the ship come up on its own by him simply smacking the console? And we're only going to ask that question because Spartacus wanted me to ask that question. And Spartacus is right here in chat going, please ask that question, please ask that question. That's the question he wants to ask because, like Han Solo, he did that and it worked. So, what would be the lucky on that? We're going to say is unlikely. So, we're going to go back to our chart for our fate questions and see if we can at least pull out of this mess. Mind you, we're at space chaos factor 6. We're going to say unlikely, which puts us at, anything under 50% is a yes. I got an 89%, so smacking the console does not work. It actually makes things worse. So that's a no. 89%, what is unlikely? 91. Okay, so it's not an exceptional no, it's just a no. If I had an exceptional no, I probably would have rolled a random event. Or a random event could have just simply happened because we're asking for a random event to happen to try and get us out of this mess, right? So we go back to random events. You actually flip through this book. It's actually easier if you actually just print the tables out, because honestly, you're going to be flipping back and forth. All right, so random event focus table, and I'm going to roll again to see which one we have. I swear to God, if I get close a thread, we'll talk about threads in a minute. 43%. All right, 43. NPC negative. Oh dear God. So my best friend, whose also name is Chris, we're actually going to call him. We're going to call him. I don't know what to call him. Give him a nice space name. Going to call him like. What is that? Cass Ordo? Not Cass Ordo. Oh God, what was the guy from Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic? Tristan. There we go. Well, Tristan and I got into a huge fight, and Jack is remembering this as he's falling to his death. That him and his best friend Tristan got into a huge fight. And this whole blackout scene has nothing to do with anything, which sucks complete and utter ass. Because it has nothing to do with any of this. As he's falling to his death, he is just remembering that Tristan and him got in a huge fight saying, you can't do this, you can't do this. So he's obviously transporting something he should not be transporting, and Tristan wanted no part of this. That's what sucks most about it. And he is missing his best friend right now because his best friend could fix this. Because not only is his best friend the pilot, his best friend is the mechanic. Dude, wait, does he have a droid? Repair droids. Why would they have repair droids on here, right? So go back to Fate. So you think about it as a last-ditch effort before we do this. It is 50-50 that there is a droid on here. And we're at Chaos Factor 6. And 44%. We do have a repair droid. He told you to replace the manifold on the hyperspace accelerator. Yes, yeah, I know. I wonder if I still have that manifold. I don't. The manifold's gone on the hyperspace accelerator. So I'll probably need to get that fixed before I go back into hyperspace. Alright, so there is a droid, but the droid has not went active yet. So Jack is going to get up from the bridge of the, from the pilot seat of the starship, and it seems if he can find the droid. He is going to roll a perception test. I got a nat 20, which it's reverse D20, so I failed. I'm going to roll again. I got a 15. I'm going to roll again. I got a 3. That's better. All right. I mean, it's dark. There's things, smoke everywhere, so you can't barely see. 3 is better. And he finds the droid. Is the droid operational? The droid is broken. The droid is broken. So, at this point, the odds are pretty much against us. We're not going to fix the ship. We crash and burn into basically into the atmosphere. I know, right? Lots of fun. If I was actually using a real system, I probably would have succeeded at partially some of this. But like I said, I was just improvising it. But that is basically the long answer. Let's move on to... Alright, so we talked about fate questions, chaos factor. Now let's talk about threads. What are threads? Threads are basically objectives or things pertaining to a character or group that must be open or closed based on, how the game is going, basically. For instance, this will go along with lists. Mythic uses a simple list system to keep track of important goals. They're basically objectives. And then the threads list is for the adventure objectives, while the characters list is important to non-player character. Both player characters, non-player characters, and each one is pertinent to each character. But if the droid is a snarky and lovable a-hole, well, they're dead now, Chris. They're dead. Maybe. One thing that I could say that I did have on the list for Jack was deliver the freaking goods. And maybe another thing on the list, amend broken friendships. Because clearly that was needed. But anyway, so that is basically it. And there is like a whole section for threads. Let me see here. Follow your expectations. Ask a fate question. Determine the odds. And this is basically the flowchart here for fate questions. So for fate questions, just follow your expectations. Should this be tested? Yes or no. Ask the fate question. Determine the odds. Fate chart or fate check. Roll to determine your answer. Interpret the results. Continue with the adventure. Simple and easy. Very easy. Now, when I first read this book, I had no idea what I was looking at. I am not going to lie. I had very little idea what I was looking at. And actually, as probably a good thing going here, we are actually going to be breaking down some things going forward. So I wish Sparta Chris was here to stream this with me, because I will probably do something that I probably would not have done at any other given time other than right now. Alright, so determine the chaos factor is a value tracked throughout the adventure that represents how much control the player character has over the current events. When you lose that, it goes up. When you gain that, it goes the other direction, which we did not gain that at all. Let me see. What are the odds that we could have survived that and the ship held enough together for me and the droid to survive? Well, we're going to say nearly impossible, right? But, hell, if I roll a 1... 79, I don't know. He's dead. We definitely got to get some stuff there. Alright, and chaos factor values. When it goes up, it's higher values, more yes answers, more random events, more unexpected scenes. When it goes down, lower values, more no answers, fewer random events, more expected scenes. Yeah, so kind of like where that was going. Although it was going up in the other direction, it should have came back a little bit. But like, man, the odds were not against me. Was not in my favor at all. They were totally against me. Alright, so exceptionally yes. An exceptionally yes is the same as yes, but intensified, meaning you take your yes answer in the next logical level. Is the door locked? Yes, and it's a darn good lock. Does the black hole begin to suck us in? Yes, and the stressors are causing damage all across the ship. Is the gladiator armed with a sword? Yes, a huge greatsword. Oh God. And then, exceptional no is something like, is the door locked? No, in fact, the door is partially open. Does the black hole suck us in? No, you actually move away from it. Is the gladiator armed with a sword? No, he is not armed at all. Sometimes you want those no answers, but sometimes you get those yes answers, and they don't really work with you very well. Alrighty. Let's start doing random events. So, random events is basically, are handled the same way with the fate check as they are currently with the fate chart. If both dice come up with the same number, such as 1 and 1, or 2 and 2, or 3 and 3, that's basically how you come across that. I believe 77. So 7, which I don't think I actually have, would actually cause a random event. So that would be a good one. I somehow did not understand that until just now. Weird. Like I said, we may have to go through. I'm trying to do this tutorial, but it's just so hard to just go through the book and do it. It's like just so much better if we can, show you. Like, I will have to actually show a video on here of how it's done. But yes, let's see here. So, random events. Let's start talking about random events. Because we did threads, which is basically objectives and lists. And that's basically all that is. There's like not much on that. We talked about fate stuff, and then we talked about fate check, fate chart, threads, and chaos factor. Next, I think we need to really start talking about events, because you will get stuff like random event, ambiguous event. You need to know the meaning of each one. So let's start talking about random events. Types of random events. Fate question, random events. Interrupt scene, random events. Okay, so random events from fate question. Whenever you ask a fate question, there is always the possibility of a random event occurring. When rolling a D100, or 1D100, or 2D10s, and it comes up doubles, you get a random event. We already know that. A random event from an interrupted scene. And interrupted scene is a twist that details your expectation, but what will happen next to create a new surprise scene for you. Something that you did not expect would happen. When generating random events, once a random event has been triggered, you need to figure out what happens. There are two components to a random event: event focus and event meaning. Both of the components are interpreted through the lens of context. Interpret those elements together to get your final result. And that could not have been put any more plainer. Seriously. So, when generating random events, consider context, determine your event focus, determine your event meaning, and interpret your results. So, you have remote event, ambiguous event, new NPC, NPC action, NPC negative, NPC positive, move towards a thread, move away from a thread, close a thread, PC negative, PC positive, current context. All of which you need to know actual stuff for, which this chapter, I believe, is one of the most important ones. Let's go with remote event. Alright, so remote event means that something has happened that your character was not present for. They're only learning about it now. This can happen in many ways. Maybe the player encounters the dead body of an NPC they met earlier in the adventure. And the remote event is that this character's death, which PC did not directly witness. Or maybe the PC wanders into a tavern and learns by word of mouth that an enemy horde has advanced, destroying the next town down the road, which you were heading to. This actually introduces new twists into your adventure, and is basically something that you don't know anything about. Ambiguous event. Most of the event table results gives you a clear identification of what event is about. NPC action means that an NPC does something. PC positive means whatever that happens is good for the player character. Maybe a thread is being closed. Now, when a thread is being closed, that means an objective has been completed. Or the objective has been completed because whatever reason why it was open is no longer available. And it's time to advance into that. Whenever it is, let's say, or maybe a new NPC enters the adventure. And the biggest event, however, is purposely vague. It's something that happens which is neither harmful nor helpful, Or at least initially. Alright, so for instance, we have an example right here. The PC in a zombie apocalypse adventure is exploring an abandoned building in search of useful items or food. Suddenly they hear something from the floor above, a bumping or scraping, followed by a rhythmic thumps. That might be footsteps. Is it a zombie? Another survivor? Maybe it's something who can help them. Or maybe it's just something, or just the wind blowing through an open window. The PC doesn't know. It's a fucking dog, okay? There's a dog up there. It's goddamn starving. There you go. Sorry, I was getting too excited there. Anyway, an ambiguous event can be interpreted in several different ways. Perhaps the event is vague and you won't know either it's good or bad until you check it out. So yeah, go from there. Alright. Event focus overlap. You guys can go through that on your own. Okay, so... Oh, do they actually... okay, so then, let's say, perhaps the ambiguous event has a new element for your adventure. But, to basically go down there and to gain context, the PC encounters a man in the town he recognizes from a photo he found in the house. After some detective work, the PC discovers that the man killed his own cousin. Oh, dear Lord, that is horrible. Who is now haunting the mansion. This turn of events, discovering the murderer of the ghost, would not have been possible without first having this ambiguous event with the photo. Like discovering the fact that somebody left a dog upstairs during a zombie apocalypse. Or maybe it was a cat. I don't know. Cats like to jump around. Has any of you guys ever noticed in The Walking Dead there's no cats or dogs? I don't know. Something I wanted to throw out there. Randomly. Whew. Alright. Been talking quite a bit. Let's see here. Alright. Definitely having a... Hopefully he wasn't a cannibal. The dog or the owner? Because that's... All of which is a good question. I mean, the dog probably... Oh, man. Maybe it's a zombie dog. Who knows? Alright, new NPC. There is some more here on ambiguous events, but we ain't going to cover that. Alright, so new NPC. A new non-player character enters the adventure. This new character plays a role in the current scene and will likely be added to the character list when the scene is over. The PC in a sword and sorcery fantasy game is exploring a dungeon. In the scene where she's checking out a room, the player gets a random event with a new NPC, which they determine to be a giant mutated rat. Oh my god, why is it a giant mutated rat? Why? After a short battle, the player realizes that there are likely more of these rats in the dungeon, so they add giant mutant rats to the character list. I don't do that. Like, that's considered monsters. Like, NPCs are usually helpful, or they're just crap-tastic. NPC action. An existing non-player character does something that impacts the adventure. Roll on the character list to see which NPC acts for this event. Oh, wait a minute. I do have these. Definitely gotta show that off. Alright, the PC, a zombie apocalypse survivor, is trying to find antibiotics for a sick friend. Alright, Sparta Chris, you're sick. I'm trying to find antibiotics. Do I save you? Oh my god, it's a girl. Never mind. I'm not playing this. Mrs. T is your character, and Mrs. T is the survivor, and she's looking for sick antibiotics for you. Currently, I'm missing in action. All right, she just discovered a pharmacy, and searching through it is the basis for the scene. Well, duh. As the PC cautiously enters the building, the player asks the fake question that generates a random event with the focus of NPC action. They roll on the character list and get Dillard Gang. Oh my god. Dillard? Hang on one second. I gotta look at the word Dillard. I probably have heard that term before. Oh, okay. Multiple entity. A big gang. Oh my god. Just say a gang of people. Like why Dillard Gang? Doug Dillard? Dillard means more than one entity or more than one person. Wow. Huh. Or an old dill farm. Oh my god. I mean, I find it funny. I don't mean to poke fun at some of these authors, but I find it funny how they put some of that stuff in there, and then when you find out it means something so common, you can just say a gang. Because I'm sorry, where I'm from, when you say there's a gang of people coming after you, there's more than one. You don't need the multiple... Well, or maybe the word Diller, because it is a zombie apocalypse, is a mix of human and zombies, and they're fighting it out in the middle of the street. Alright, a violent group... Oh my god, no, it's just one group. Never mind. A violent group the PC encounters in an earlier scene that the player subsequently added to the list. Oh, okay. So so Mrs. T encountered them before. The player determines that the member of the gang is lurking in the store and ambushes the PC as she approaches the pharmacy counter. Damn, just can't... So is it Dillard's gang? It could be Dillard's gang, I know. Alright, so something bad or good... Alright, so NPC, PC, negative or positive is usually something... Regardless if it's NPC, positive or negative, it's... Negative is bad, positive is good, PC's vice versa. I'm not reading all of that. You guys can check that out yourself. But yes, basically that. Okay, so now we're at move towards a thread. Alright. Threads are goals and missions that the player character is pursuing. This random event brings the PC one step closer to resolving an open thread. Roll on the threads list to see which thread is the event. Okay, so the player character is a pulp era treasure hunter. Of course they are. Exploring an ancient pyramid. During this exploration, the player runs into a random event and gets to move towards a thread, with the thread being find the ancient tomb of Akhenaten. Awesome. The player determines that the PC comes across a wall that inscribes with a crude map of the pyramid complex, at the center of which is a symbol that can only be the tomb itself. This is a major clue for the PC. It shows her exactly how to get to where she wants to go. Indiana Jones. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I love the second one. You know, Dr. Jones, this is no time for love, Dr. Jones. Short Round is like my favorite character, just the way he is, and he's like this like mouthy little kid too, but he loves Dr. Jones. All right, anyway, move away from the thread. While the previous random event helps the player character get closer to resolving an open thread, this event does the exact opposite. It represents a new hurdle or setback that hinders the PC's progress towards closing the thread. Roll on the thread list to see which event. Okay, so the player character, a hired mercenary, is tracking a criminal through the jungle when a random event comes up, and with the event focus of move away from a thread. In this case, capture the escaped criminal. You don't capture the escaped criminal. Player interprets this means that the trail has disappeared and there's no sign of the criminal. No tracks in mud, no broken branches, nothing. You lost them. Fucking sucks. Alright, moving on. Indiana Jones music playing. Yeah, well, I hope I didn't offend anybody, but whatever. Close the thread. This random event brings about the closure of an open thread. Rolls on the thread list to see which one thread this involves. Determining how the thread is closed will require interpretation, but whatever the event is, it should either resolve the thread or nullify it somehow. Nigel and Clara, the occult investigators, have succeeded in returning to the mansion back to the normal world, but they still need to banish the ghost. Find Warren, who's disappeared again. Okay, I'm sorry. If you have an NPC that's constantly disappearing, fucking leave him. Alright. And find the spell to summon the enraged ghost in the first place. While Nigel's rummaging through in the cellar, Mythic generates a random event with the focus of close the thread. The player rolls Find Warren on the thread list and interprets that this to mean that Nigel hears knocking sounds coming from, I swear to God, if he's in a trunk, a large locked chest. I swear, I did not know that was going to happen. When he opens it, Warren pops out, gasping for breath. The ghost locked him in the chest to get rid of him for good. Alright. But basically, you get to close the thread. And then current context. Whatever is happening in the scene right now becomes the focus for the event. If the random event was generated from a fake question, then use the context. Player's a gunslinger. PC bursts into a barn, expected to find the bandits he's been pursuing. Player asks a fake question. Is he in here? Yes, he is. Or no, he's not. There you go. And then, you go from there. I think we've actually done a lot of explaining, and I did not want to bore you guys for an hour and 20 minutes of that. So let's actually look at some things. First, we're going to close this out, and we are going to move into something that I never thought we'd do, but we are going to do it. So let me see here. I'm going to pop in. Let's see here. And I'd like to let everyone know, including Rumble, that this is my own video. So let's pop in the video. Now, this is when I first started. This is when I first started my adventure with Mythic. And we're gonna actually imagine trying to imagine a commentary. Daphne, what happened? I don't know. I was wandering around and then someone grabbed me. Danger prone Daphne strikes again. Danger prone Daphne. That's like that's if we played Scooby Doo. Although a Scooby Doo TTRPG would be kind of fun. Dibs on Shaggy. Although I'd make that more adult themed. Shaggy's got some weed on him. Jack Mercer. I think I have.
Hello, everybody.
There we go.
Welcome. All right. I had to hang on just a second. I had to make some changes. So sorry about all that. And welcome to my well, this is my solo play game. I've been watching the Grouch Couch, and a few people have. Okay, let me start over. Hello, welcome to my stream. My name is Tabletop Junkie, and today I'm doing a solo campaign of All Flesh Must Be Eaten. Welcome to the game, as that I am doing one of All Flesh Must Be Eaten with the Mythic Game Master Tool Emulator. I've been actually watching the Grouch Couch, and I've seen all his Walking Dead episodes, and he's also doing a fantasy one as well, using the Mythic Game Master Tool Emulator. I do have the core rulebook for the second edition, and I've actually figured it out how to get it on Foundry as well. So today I'm playing a guy named Jack Mercer, who I think that was the name of my last character in All Flesh Must Be Eaten, who eventually died. And you know, the same thing is, he was also an IT guy, very well dressed. Whoops again. I can't make the player picture any bigger. Anyway, hey Spartacus, welcome to the stream. Okay, so he's pretty much, as you see here, brown hair, Caucasian. Okay, so this is where I first started doing that. And the Grouch Couch, for anyone who's interested, he is over on YouTube, and I'm going to post his link right here in my channel. I'm definitely going to promote him because he was the reason I even started this up, even on here. This is the reason why there's 15 videos of this. Asian, you know, well dressed. He's actually a head coder of his. So Jack Mercer is an IT guy. He's the head coder of OD Technology Incorporated. Basically, it's a corporation that builds computer parts and works with programming as well as networking. He's about 30 years old. He basically has no sense of humor. He does suffer from nightmares. You know, he has some weird, vivid dreams. He does wear glasses, but he doesn't have them all the time. And his favorite hobby is to have a pickup truck. Because it makes him feel masculine, as like his job makes him feel unmasculine. He has no sense of humor, and pretty much he does live by a code. You know, he has to do what is right. He has a sense of right and wrong, but he also has a sense of, you know, he also has this, you know, a sense of, you know, you're not going to take advantage of him. Although he does let people take advantage of him all the time, especially women. This does seem like kind of a wimpy character, but this is kind of normie. This is going to take place in day 0 of the game. I have filled out a journal where we'll be going through each day as it happens. So now, I did want to touch base. Like, you do, the journal is something that you would actually have before starting. I did a journal especially of day-to-day events of how the world was going to fall around this character up until the part he died. Because he did die, I think, like the 3rd or 4th session in. He did not make it. So then I started taking control of the other characters. He's supposed to go through... So as we get into day 0... Jack wakes up to his alarm at roughly 5 a.m. in the morning. Now, I know with most IT companies, they do get in pretty early. And with him being the head coder, he pretty much could be on call in case something goes down at work. Let's see. Did something go down at work in the middle of the night? We're going to ask a fake question here. That is, you know, we're going to ask a fake question. Did something go down in the middle of the night? It is very much possible. We're going to go with unsure. The chaos factor we're going to keep to 5. And that in the chaos factor. All right, so here's the first fake question. And I've already explained to everyone how I'm doing it. Okay, the chaos factor is setting to 5 because that is basically default, and that's how you basically start doing that. So when we started off at the very earliest part of the stream, we looked at the chaos factor, and we go from there. All right. You will see in other videos where this goes up and down. We will actually probably have to show more of that as we intend to. It gets adjusted when the character loses control of the session. I have not lost control of the session yet, so we're going to keep it at 5. This will be determined by the end of the game. So we're going to say, okay, did he get called in? Did something happen at work in the middle of the night? And we're going to roll the dice, and the dice does roll here, 86%. No, nothing happened in the middle of the night. So he does wake up at like 5 a.m. That's when his alarm goes off. He hits his alarm. He hops in the shower. He brushes his teeth. The morning is nothing, nothing any different than any other morning. Other than, he just didn't get a call in. So he was managed to get through some sleep. He pretty much spent the night alone like he does every other night. He makes his favorite food in the morning, which is literally for just going to work. He likes to get a donut. A jelly-filled donut, strawberry jelly, which is his exact favorite. Does he actually? Would he have? He hasn't gone to the store in a while, so does he have a jelly-filled donut? It's likely he does because he would have kept that. Made sure he would have some for the morning. Yes, he does have a jelly-filled donut. So he does have to, but he has to go back out. He does make his to-do list as he's getting ready for work. He's got about roughly 45 minutes before he actually hops in the truck. Jelly-filled donut, what a loser. Actually, I like jelly-filled donuts, so you know what? Anyone who likes that, whatever. If you don't like guys who like jelly-filled donut, fuck yourselves. So far nothing is severely happening at this moment. He's just getting up. He's moving around his apartment. He has an apartment in this very big city. Actually, let's get a couple of hang on one second. I'm actually okay. Let's get a couple of quick questions here. What type of I imagine he is in a big city being part of a major IT company. Let's get a couple names here, a couple descriptors. So we got chaotic, lavish. Okay, lavish, chaotic, lavish. Chaotic means it's usually very busy, and chaotic accidents happen everywhere. People are usually in a rush. This guy, kind of like how you can probably go to New York City or some of the bigger cities around. And lavish usually means really well, lots of money, economy's great. So so he is in a very big recommendation. Have a dictionary. Big city that is right now currently at like 6 a.m. in the morning. Traffic is freaking horrible. So he's getting ready. He's actually pouring him a cup of coffee because he's definitely going to need to get on the road. He is going to go check his fridge for an energy drink. Did he manage to buy an energy drink? Did he run out? They're not very healthy, so he's unsure if he actually has one or not. It's very possible he didn't buy any more. Yes, he does have an energy drink. It's his last one, though. So he grabbed some coffee. He's just down in a quick one just to get his senses going. He got himself a jelly donut, and he's well dressed. He's washing his hands. He's very much a germaphobe. He definitely hates. So the idea I got for Jack Mercer, to give you guys a little context, is I actually went to school for computer programming and IT, actually coding. I actually, in a couple jobs, I was the lead coder. I hated that job, and I literally wanted to just jump out the nearest window. I wanted to find an open window, jump out it, and just... No, it was not as fun as, and I like to say this, coders in the 80s made more money than they do now. In the 80s and the 90s, they made more money than they do now. They don't make much now. When I got into it, we were barely making above minimum wage, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is not gonna happen. So, this is kind of like me in an alternate universe, if I worked for a multi-billion-dollar corporation and I was actually leading an entire department. Because the only time you make the big money now is if you lead the entire department. So this was kind of like a character or a side of me, a little bit of me into this character. This is who I wanted to be at some point in my life. And I realized... like, you damn near got to kill yourself to get up there. and it's very, very tedious, very, very competitive, and it was crazy. And it's like, you know what's funny, how it got even more competitive when, and this is, I love telling people this story, when we decided to say we can replace, like, a computer programmer of this guy's stature invented those self-checkout machines at grocery stores, right? Saying, hey, we can replace cashiers with these self-checkout machines, and we won't need cashiers. We're going to fade them out. We're going to totally phase them out of existence, right? Well, let me tell you something. So when we presented that to a higher CEO, that same CEO says, well, why can't we replace more of you people? And make it where you can daisy chain hook computers together through a network, right? Or through something. Like, he didn't understand what he was saying, but basically you control 20 computers at once. And that is when the field became more competitive. And I was like, that's where we screwed ourselves. Is to think, oh, you can't replace us. We make this. Yeah, they can. They can. Once you realize that an application, you can take that application one step further. So the same CEO that was actually making billions off of selling those self-checkouts was actually saving billions by then replacing the entire team that came up with it. Yes, he is the me that sold my soul for money. Lots and lots of germs. He grabbed himself an energy drink and he's grabbing his keys, his wallet. Does he have any pets? With him living alone, it is unlikely he has any pets. But let's see if he maybe has a cat that he picked up as a friend. Yes, he has a cat. He definitely has a cat. So, I am saddened now because I just remembered that he had a cat. And that cat got left behind. That cat got left behind. I have a cat. I petted the cat. This is the only scene I have the cat in the entire series. And we left that cat to die. I feel sad. He pets his cat on the head. And he says, be good. He made sure the litter box is cleaned out. And at least scooped out for the moment. He does going to have to do that pretty quick. So we're going to roll a dexterity roll. And it's going to be a simple test, so we're going to roll that and see what he gets. And I definitely got a result of a 15, so definitely he does it in a timely manner. And he manages to make out the door exactly at 6:45. He goes down to... Now, he lives in an apartment, so he has to go down into, like, you know, to the main floor. Is he on... we need to know, how big is his apartment? Some apartments do have, like, 10 floors. Most have only 3, but with this being a big city, I'm wondering if there would be 5 floors. Is he on a 5-floor apartment complex? With him being in a big city, it is likely. No, he does not have 5 floors. Does he have 3-floor apartment complex? And that is definitely very likely. So I don't live in one of those big time. Yes, so I do have 3 floors. So that's kind of like a medium. They do charge quite a bit money for rent. Like, I'm pretty much paying for a studio, 1-bedroom apartment. I'm paying like $2,000 a month for. That is just like, I don't know like how I'm paying that. Plus, with my car and everything, my pickup truck. Do I have a new pickup truck or an old pickup truck? That's a question. Let's get some descriptors for my car. Let's see. We should have one here for vehicle. Curses, power, spell effects, twists, names, noble houses, tone, scavenge, magic items, objects, smells, sounds, vision, dreams. It doesn't look like I have... What we can do... I don't know if the element meaning of objects, that could be more fantasy than regular modern. So I'm going to pick... I'm actually going to pick descriptions. And whatever 2 words is what I get, we will fit it with a vehicle. I do have a pickup truck, but we don't know if it's new or old. So let's go here with descriptions. Okay, so I've got innocently rotten. That's more for characters. Innocently rotten. Yeah, I didn't like that. So I guess we will... Let's see. What does it do for objects? Useful. I have a useful pickup truck. Thank God, so I can rely on it. Energy. Huh. Okay. Useful energy. I guess I have a pickup truck with maybe a V6 in it. So it's not like... And it's fucking electric. I have an economic based... Oh, dear Lord. I'm not driving one of those old Fords. I'm driving an electric vehicle. Dear Lord in heaven, an electric vehicle, guys. So I go to a power station. I'm not polluting the in the apocalypse. I have an electric vehicle where electricity later on becomes a fundamental fact that we don't even have. Or a fundamental need that we don't even have. Environment. Oh man, when I realized my character is a total, like, I don't agree with me as a person. I don't agree with energy trucks, but yeah. He has an energy. This is a game that takes place after 2020, so all electric vehicles are possible. So he has one of those brand new. COVID probably already happened in this world, so so he's just now getting back to work. I don't know. Should I use? Here's the thing. Should I use real world events in this game? That's a fake question. I'm gonna go with very unlikely because I don't like using that, but I will if this role does do it. Does he wear a mask in his vehicle alone as well? I hope to God not. Let me see if this happens. No, okay, so COVID never happened. The world never actually experienced that, so no, he does not wear a mask. They developed all electric vehicles, and therefore he's just gonna go with it. Dear Lord in heaven. All right, so he gets in. And he remote starts, he's got this key fob with him, and he remote starts his vehicle on the way down once he gets down to the 3rd floor. Oh, I forgot to ask. I did ask. I got a 3-floor apartment, but the question is, am I in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd floor? That is a question. I am going to roll a D4. And I got a 4. So I'm not on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd floor. There's actually a 4th floor. I'm in the basement of the studio apartment, and I am paying. Man, so I'm not going downstairs. I'm climbing upstairs. So this is the world where if COVID didn't happen, we get zombie. Yes. So I'm not going down a flight of stairs. I'm going up a flight of stairs to get to the main floor and get to go outside. Does my apartment complex have a parking garage? It is likely that would happen. No, so I have to go outside. All right. What kind of fucking rule I say it's likely that I have a parking garage and I still get a fucking no? But yeah, that does happen a lot. So I'm going up a flight of stairs. I am not in a safe area. I'm willing to bet. Not in a safe area at all. I wonder if that would be a scene alteration. That is a good question. But we won't go there. I mean, it is chaotic, so I'm probably not in the safest part of the city. I mean, so at this point, I was experimenting with Mythic, and I did not know much what I was doing. So yeah, I do apologize for the constant pause that I did in the video, but I was still kind of trying to wrap my mind with how this works before it actually just took off. Let's see, we still had Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer going out and around telling everyone there is no zombie apocalypse, come to Chinatown. Where I'm pretty sure there was a group of people actually doing that. Maybe that'll be a group of people I'm going to add when I start up season 3. Especially if this, that is a really good question. Am I in a safe part of the city? Unsure. I am not. I am in the shit part of town, driving around Oh, wow. So this is awesome car, crappy apartment. No. What was it? Awesome car, awesome apartment, awesome job, shitty end of town. Got it. Where people, yeah, I'm not in a safe part of town at all. So I'm probably hearing some noises. People are probably arguing. It doesn't look so good. You haven't lost your truck. Why? Well, I guess that's a question. Do I find vandalism done on my truck? If I'm not in the safe part, it is very likely. Yeah. So I went outside and I found that my windows of my all-electric pickup truck are shattered, and it looks like there's bullet holes in them. And I am just sitting there going, fuck. Well, there goes my insurance policy. Vandalism or it's been stolen. Well, I don't think you can steal all electric vehicles. Let's see. Great apartment, great job, great vehicle, shitty part of town. There goes my insurance policy when I said shattered windows, bullet holes. I don't think I had much of an insurance policy to go off of. Not to relate, but kind of I can feel where the character is somewhat, because I don't live in a neighborhood that is that bad. Like, that's like the slums. Like the really bad areas of like most states, and it's like, yeah, I don't think my insurance policy was cheap. I think that's why I had to live in the great job, great apartment, great vehicle, lived in this shitty part of town because my insurance policy took all my money. Are kind of weird. Because without certain key fobs with those all-electric vehicles, I did hear without a key fob you can't start it to go. So it's more likely to be vandalized than stolen. But we will ask that question. But I will say likely for. Actually, they may not steal the vehicle without the key fob, but they will still take the radio for the vandalism, and unlikely for the stolen if I have to roll both. So here we go. We're going to go with likely. And, an exceptional yes, doubles. So, yes, it's been vandalized. Let's see here. And, okay, so with it, so when you roll doubles, what doubles means is you get a remote event that is. The reason why you guys saw so many dice is because I rolled doubles in the first place when I rolled that event. So now it just kept rolling, and I wanted it to stop. Is occurring. So, decreased intellect. Ooh, decreased intellect. Okay. So, a remote event happened. Unexpected decreased intellect. There's a homeless person in my truck. See, there's a homeless person in my truck. Let's see here. I do have a list of NPCs, and I think I have a homeless person. Yes, Crazy Linda. If I roll a 6, she is in my truck. If I roll anything else, and this is going to be on a D10. If I roll anything else, it'll be someone else. So let's see what I get here. I got a 9. Okay, so it is somebody else. All right, so we're gonna look at this character here. We're gonna choose 2 descriptors. So there's descriptor number 1. Definitely. It was an asshole. Definitely. And descriptor number 2, intense passive. Okay, all right. Appearance is gonna be crappy. Personality is probably going to be crappy. Identity. Let's see here. Bureaucrat. Oh, dear Lord. Official. Okay. So. Yes, but Crazy Linda comes in later. Spoiler alert. This is. I need a. Is a homeless person armed? Chris? Shut up. Shut up. I'm getting a dose of my own medicine at this game already. Alright, so it's so this is a former state official that of the city that unfortunately has been washed out and fired. He lost his wife. His wife left him for his coworker. So he's been totally cucked. Lost his wife and family. I'm trying to think. Ooh, we need a name for him. What kind of names? Names. Here we go. J. Phi. Jeffy. Jeffy? Jeff. You know what? His name is Jeff. His name is Jeff. Jeff. No, I was kidding. We're gonna say. Yeah, his name is Jeff. Yeah, it would be evil if we would have lost. If he would have lost his wife to his brother. We don't have a last name for him. Actually, let me see if I can come up with a last name. We got Jeff J again. Kerr. Okay. His name is Jeffrey Jacobson. Jacobson. So Jeffrey Jacobson gets out and he's like, there you are. You're the owner of this truck. He says drunkenly as he starts, falling out. He's got ripped suit all over him. And let's see, is he armed? Given the fact that he probably vandalized my truck, he probably his name could be Jafar. If he no, we're not going there. We're not going there, Chris. All right, so the question is he armed? Well, he's in the bad side of town, so it's very likely that he is armed. Very likely. And given the fact that he is broken my truck, it is definitely it's kind of nearly certain he might have something going on there. So let's see what we got here. I hope to God this does not. Yeah, he's fucking armed. He's pointing a gun at me, and he's drunk as shit. He's not thinking very clearly at all. And I'm like, at this point, I think I'm gonna roll a willpower to see if I can withstand this. This is gonna be a difficult. Let's see here. Definitely willpower. I don't think humorless would pay a thing. Nothing I would. So we're just going to roll it. And here we go. And I got a fucking 2. With the result, it is literally only a 4. So with this, we've experienced fate. We experienced the character list. We have experienced the fate question. We've even experienced the random event. So we have not experienced yet the up and down of the chaos factor, and we have not experienced yet a few other things. The thread list. We haven't experienced that yet, but we're going to. All right. Because we're actually approaching 2 hours, we are going to stop it here, and we will pick it up here. We are currently about. I gotta make a note that we're at 23 minutes and 19 seconds in, and we'll definitely will be pointing out what else you can experience through here. I will do another workshop, let's talk about Mythic Game Master Tool Emulator, and we will definitely show off a few things. But until then, for everyone who joined in, thank you guys so much for coming in. I do appreciate that, and we'll definitely do some more of this and get it all the way around. So maybe this would help other people, because I think Mythic is getting out there for solo games. So you guys have a great and wonderful evening, and thank you for joining me. And remember to work hard, play hard, game on, everybody. Have a great and wonderful day.